What's the business, y'all? It's been a while since I made like a little video, been like a week or so. So, I wanted just to make a video on why I feel like it's okay to call women bitches. It is okay. And I want to make sure that we understand each other. I want to make sure that we're clear. It is okay to call women bitches. But I also want to throw this out there. It's a difference between a woman and a bitch. It's a big difference between a woman and a bitch. You understand what that? And what I'm saying is like, if you conduct yourself like a bitch, you're going to be called a bitch. And that's just the way that it is. We just live in a world that you're going to be treated according to how you conduct yourself and according to how you act. And, and quite frankly, women live in a mindset of, it's almost like I can do what I want to do, but I can't have this done to me, or you can't say this to me. Women live in a world under conditions. Like, I can hit a man and beat the shit out of him, but he better not hit me back. Or I can say what the fuck I want to say to a man, but he better not call me a bitch. No, we ain't going there. No, we ain't going there. Women have to get out of that mindset. It's almost like narcissistic mindset. It's a narcissistic mindset of, I can do what I want to do. No, in this world, you're going to be treated according to how you conduct yourself and according to how you behave and according to how you act. If you act like a hoe, you're going to be treated like a hoe. If you walking down the street, titties out, ass all, shorts all up your ass and shit like that, yes, baby, yes, you're going to be treated like a hoe. If you fucking 5 niggas in one night, yes, you're going to be treated like a hoe. And I'm going to be standing in line, waiting on my turn. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to take, it's an accountability that women need to take, and women have to take responsibility for their actions. It's a level of accountability that needs to be taken. If you act a certain way, yes, in this lifetime, you're going to be treated a certain way. Bottom line, my sister, LaShonda, made a post yesterday, which kind of sparked this video, you know what I'm saying? Because she said, would you talk to your mama like that? Would you talk to your auntie like that? Would you talk to your grandma like that? And my response to that is, no, I would not, because they don't conduct themselves like bitches. If they, you know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line, So in my mind, you can't, the two can't even be compared. No, I wouldn't speak to my grandmother like that. No, I wouldn't speak to my aunt like that, because they don't conduct themselves like bitches. These stupid ass 2012 bitches, they act ignorant as fuck, and they conduct themselves like bitches. So therefore, it is justifiable to call some of them bitches. And like I said, it's a difference between a woman and a bitch. So no, I wouldn't expect the nigga to talk to his grandma like that or talk to his so-and-so like that. No, because they probably don't conduct themselves like bitches. I'm real talk. These women, that's these young stupid ass girls, they ignorant as hell. They ignorant as hell, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, and sometimes it is necessary. And sometimes it is necessary to call a woman a bitch. Just like it might be necessary to call a man a fuck nigga. You know what I mean? You're going to be treated according to how you act, how you conduct yourself, and how you behave. That's just the bottom line. What you feed the world as a seed, it's gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? Once you put something out there, it's gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. I give you a perfect example with me. I'm a very outspoken person. I say what I want to say. I speak my opinion whenever I feel like it. And quite frankly, some people are gonna cheer me on and be like, yeah, Willie, do your thing. And some people, they're gonna walk away from me. They're gonna delete me off Facebook. They're gonna say, fuck that nigga, he talk too much, this and that like that, whatever the case may be. And I gotta accept that. I gotta accept that. So therefore, I'm taking accountability for my actions. I have to expect the backlash that comes along with being Willie Green. I have to accept that. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, when a woman come and let's just keep it real. You know when you being a bitch. You already. It's not like you don't know. You know when you being a bitch. You know when you being stupid as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, if you acting like a bitch, why can I not call you a bitch? I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. If you acting like a hoe, why can I call you a hoe? Because you don't mind. The thing is, you have no shame when you acting like a bitch. So therefore, why can I call you one? You want to act like a bitch, but how dare me say it? That's basically the attitude. I can act like a bitch, but you better not say it. Like, no, we ain't, no, that's not, no. And I'm sorry, I don't live in a world like that. And I know that y'all see a lot of my Facebook posts, and y'all may think to yourself like, I'm real hard on women, and y'all hear me say bitch and all this a lot, but y'all don't understand the shit that's going on behind the scenes. That's the way I feel. Y'all don't see all the shit that's going on behind the scenes. I would never call a woman a bitch without justification. Real talk. I would never call a woman a bitch not without justification. I mean, but y'all don't see all the behind the scenes shit. Y'all don't see all of that. Y'all don't see all the shit that take place, and y'all just see me ranting, and you know it just looks a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And as well as other niggas, if y'all see a man call a woman a bitch and this and that, y'all don't know what prompted him to say that. So it's not like oh, okay, well, you know, he's just making a bitch comment just because. Same thing with rappers. Rappers take a lot of flack for saying the word bitch and hoe, this and that, like that. But let's just be honest. There are bitches and hoes in this world. As a matter of fact, women say it louder than we do. You know what I'm saying? There are bitches and hoes in this world. And when I say the word bitch, I'm not talking about the mama that's working at McDonald's, busting her ass every day at work, trying to raise 5 kids on her own because she got a sorry ass baby daddy. I'm not talking about the Oprahs. I'm not talking about Michelle Obama. I'm not talking about the women of those prestigious, pristine positions. No, I'm talking about women who conduct themselves like bitches, who don't have any shame with conducting themselves like bitches, who glorify, just being a bitch, and therefore you're gonna be called a bitch. You know, straight up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and there was this one chick. She actually responded on LaShonda's post, but I'm not even gonna mention Shorty's name. I'm not gonna mention her name because, quite frankly, she's irrelevant. You know, but she's relevant to the conversation in reference to just the laughter part of it. You know, just the laughing my ass off part of it because it's comical to me. You know, but she's not worth me mentioning her name because, quite frankly, I'm not even gonna go there. But yeah, I mean, women who have that mindset, I mean, that kind of bothers me because it kind of scares me because no, I mean, I don't live in a world like that, and I really don't believe that anyone should have the mindset of, you know, it's not okay to call a woman a bitch. Under certain circumstances, it is. Under certain circumstances, it is okay to call a woman a bitch. And as a matter of fact, women trip me out because, like I said, y'all will call a woman a bitch quicker than we will. Y'all will call a woman a bitch quicker than we will. You know what I mean? So, no, I mean, we have to get to a place, man. Let's just take accountability for our actions. If you acting like a bitch, just keep it real with yourself. You know you acting like a bitch. You know you a stupid bitch. You know you an ignorant bitch. You're a dirty bitch. You know what I'm saying? Musty mouth bitch. You know you are these things. You know, so a nigga like me, if you act like a bitch, you will be called a bitch. You know, if you conduct yourself like a woman, you will be called a woman. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is this. There's certain women who I would never call a bitch. Like I would never talk to Sahidra like that. I would never call Sahidra a bitch. I would never call, LaShonda a bitch, and Shargell and Chastity or Keisha, you know what I'm saying? You know, any of my DDSS fan members who does not portray bitch-like mannerisms. But there are some girls in my DDSS group that I've gotten into an argument with, and because it escalated, I did say bitch. Does it mean it was right? No. Have I apologized? Yes. I'm not above apologizing. Does that still deviate from the fact that at that particular moment in time you was behaving like a bitch? No. You was still behaving like a bitch at that time, which is therefore why you got called a bitch. You know, I mean, there's sometimes a nigga needs to be called a fuck nigga, like I said. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they act like fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? Niggas act like bitches. You see what I'm saying? I mean, so, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter if you're a woman. And I'm not finna walk around here acting like, a woman is exempt from, certain things and this and that like that. No. We live in a world where, we live in a world that if a woman commits murder and she's caught, she's gonna go to prison just like a man. Straight up. If a woman is doing 80 miles an hour in a 35 miles per hour zone, and a police officer sitting on the corner, he clocks you, she's going to get a ticket just like a man. I mean, so no. I mean, I'm sorry. I definitely have to disagree with that position. Because to me it's not realistic. If it is necessary at times to call these hoes bitches. Yes. And like I said earlier, it is a difference between a woman and a bitch. My grandmother was a woman. My aunties are women. Your aunties, your mamas, your grandmamas are women. You dig what I'm saying? So therefore, I wouldn't expect for you to call them a bitch. And then on top of that, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? To me, when you deal with older folks, even if they are acting like a bitch, I still don't go there because I got respect for my elders. So even if there is an older woman acting like a bitch, I won't even go there because, quite frankly, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm not. And I'm not for to have it on my conscience knowing that I cussed out an old woman calling her a bitch or no. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. And no, I'm not doing that. But y'all young bitches who walk around here stupid as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Want to run your mouth all the time and want to fucking, you know, just be ignorant and shit, you know what I'm saying? Want to comment on some shit that ain't got nothing to do with you, you know what I'm saying? You want to act like a bitch and conduct yourself like a bitch. Yes, y'all will be called bitches promptly. Immediately. Y'all will be called bitches immediately. Yes, you will. Have to. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. So that's just the way that I feel. It is okay to call women bitches under certain circumstances. It is a difference between a woman and a bitch, like I said. But yes, my position stands still. It is okay to call these hoes bitches. And that's my position. I'm out.